Okay. Recording. Yes, official. Okay. So this month's Healthy Happy Hour is a little different. Normally I'm in my kitchen. This is not my kitchen today because I'm going to stand up in a minute and show you a little bit of simple exercise that you can do at your house, wherever you are. So congrats on showing up tonight, prioritizing yourself, or if you're watching the recording of this, that's okay. You still made time for yourself to sit down or maybe you're listening to this in your car and take a minute to get some healthy ideas flowing. So I hope this is going to be really useful, really practical. Keep it short. So I really believe in helping people build their confidence through healthy habits. And exercise is a great way to build your confidence. Now, not always at the beginning of a health journey, because we kind of feel clumsy and uncomfortable when we start exercise too soon. But once you're in a healthy groove, exercise is a great way to continue to take your health to the next level. So that's why we're here. So I will share a couple of basic tips. I've got 5 simple things for a quick home workout with not a lot of preparation. And I'm not actually going to not use equipment tonight. I like to use a few bands and dumbbells, but you do not have to have those things. If you don't want to use them, it's okay. So just sharing a couple ideas that hopefully will get you motivated and be a little spark if you're thinking, okay, I need to do something, but I'm not sure what. So we are going to, go through that 5 simple exercises. Yes, 5. I had to double check. And then some simple tips to make it happen. So the first thing is I always will preface this with kind of a spoiler alert. This exercise routine is not about weight loss. This is about making your muscles stronger, improving your balance, and if you do enough of it, improving your heart and lung capacity, but definitely, and improving your muscle definition for sure, but definitely not a weight loss tool. So that's my official disclaimer. I've worked in fitness for a long time, and I know that exercise is not the best way to lose weight. And for many people, it's not a weight loss tool at all. So this is about fitness and about overall wellness, not about weight loss. So that's my full disclaimer. You got it. So number 1, take notes if you want, but I'm going to post this with a video. Number 1, this is huge, but it's small. Please start small with your goal. So a lot of people think that, oh gosh, I need 30 minutes or I need an hour or it's not going to be a great workout. So here's the deal. I would like for you to start, if you're not doing any kind of exercise at home. I know some of y'all, we've talked about this, but I would like you to start small with like 4 to 6 minutes. And I want to say 5 minutes, but I like even numbers with exercise because then you have balanced sets of things. So I'm going to say 4 to 6 minutes. That is the most consistent way to start exercising at home. Because if you tell yourself you got to get up and go for 20 or 30 minutes, a lot of times we're like, sheesh, I don't have time for that. Or I know the kids are going to interrupt, or I know the dog's going to climb on top of me, or, it's just maybe there's too much today, or I'm too tired, or I'm too busy. So 4 to 6 minutes, 4 to 6. I'm really serious about that. When I first decided to start a morning exercise routine, I was like, oh my goodness, that's going to be so hard. I didn't really want to do it, but I knew it would be, really convenient once I got started. And now I love it. But when I first got up that first morning and did a morning workout, it was 4 minutes long and that's it. And I was like, woohoo, victory, I did it. So that's my advice. Start really, really small and use a timer. You can use the timer on your phone or just get a little kitchen timer, egg timer, but that'll keep you focused on the time so that you don't get distracted or get carried away and go too long. Because a lot of people who teach habit change will tell you that if you, create a really mini goal, then you're more likely to stick to it. So if you're going to learn to work out and you don't even know where to start, if you just do 1 push-up and then stop and do no more, no less, then that 1 push-up eventually will turn into a complete workout. So keep it small, but use a timer. And I suggest 30 to 60 second intervals. So set the timer for 4 minutes or 6 minutes, and every 30 seconds or every minute, switch to the new exercise. That keeps me on track too, because then I don't have to count. And then again, if you have all those interruptions rolling through the house, or maybe you're in your office or in your classroom on planning, no, probably can't do that. Then you are able to, keep track of the time and feel really accomplished, because the timer's going to go off and you're going to say, yes, I did it. So 30 to 60 seconds is really a sweet spot. And if 15 seconds is really hard for you, then build up. Just stop and take a break. Grab your water. I know you're drinking water and this is close by while you're exercising. Just do 15 seconds and then do 15 more, or do 30, take a break, and then do 30 more to complete that set. So every set is 1 minute. Next thing is to time block. This is a big number 2, time block that workout. And even if it's 5 minutes, put it on the calendar and tell your family it's on the calendar, or show them, or point to it, or shake it in front of their face, or link it to their Google Calendar, or whatever you have to do, so that they can see that this is a priority for you, and that it is, is definitely going to happen. It's an important part of your day. Put it on the calendar. The next big thing is to, this is your third one, choose simple compound exercises. And I'm going to demonstrate a couple just so you can see. Don't have to have a lot of things, don't have to have fancy things. And like I said, I'm not using weights today, because I want you to see that if you have nothing but your body weight, you're still good to go. So here are my suggestions. And again, I'll demonstrate these, or you can watch the recording later. But the first one, see, I need a camera person. This would be easy, is to hold some dumbbells, if you choose, or you can just do hands. And just do a squat and a press. And I like to do these compound or multi-joint or multitasking exercises, because they're so effective, and you get a lot done in a short amount of time. So your feet are about hip distance apart. In fact, I'll back up a little bit more. You're about hip distance apart, holding your weights, and you just sit back and you press straight up. So down and press just like that. And that way, you're using the hips, using the glutes and the quads and the shoulders all at one time. And this doesn't have to be a big movement. It doesn't have to be a deep squat, but you're hitting shoulders, glutes, quads, hamstrings, a lot of body parts at once. It's fabulous. Second exercise is a lunge with a curl. Again, you can hold weights if you want, but you're just going to step back. So your feet are apart, and just go down and up, and add a dumbbell curl if you choose. It's not a big movement. I'm literally just putting my feet apart and going down and lifting just like this. Really, really simple. So I'm using my upper body, my biceps, and glutes again, quads again, calf in the back. Really, really easy. Third one is a push-up with a heel lift. And I'm going to demonstrate this on the wall. You don't have to get in the floor to do a great push-up, but really simple again. Ooh, I don't have a great wall for this. Okay, I'm standing on my wall. I'm going to push up and do a heel lift. Push up, opposite leg. Push up. And this is great on the floor if you have the strength for it, but if you don't, that's okay. Right here. So the opposite leg is using the glutes, and then the chest and shoulders and core are working on the top body. Last one is a lateral leg lift with a lateral raise with dumbbells. So if you're holding your dumbbells, you're standing here. This is great for ankle and hip strength, especially for you ladies. You're going to hold your dumbbell, shift your weight to one leg right here, and you're just going to lift and lift. So everything you do is to the side, lift and lift. So hip and shoulders, and hip and shoulders. So 30 seconds or a minute set on that side. And then I want you to switch to this leg, and we're going to change the arms to a front raise. So, oops. So lift and front raise, lift and front raise. Really, really simple. Just getting that shoulder at a different angle, and you're lifting the opposite hip, lift and front raise. So the first one was like this, side and lift, side and lift. And then the other side is side and front. So you're just lifting to the side, and then the second set is to the front. And if you want to increase your challenge and do it at the same time, woo, even better. So if you can do that and lift at the same time, even better. So that's all I'm going to give you, because I think that is another secret to success with a home workout, is that you don't try to do too many different exercises, because it gets overwhelming and you forget, and a confused mind does nothing, right? So let's not get in that boat. This needs to be easy. So the fourth big thing, if you're trying to create your home workout routine, is to have an accountability partner. So when we're working out at home, usually we're alone, which is okay. And some of us love to work out alone, and that's fine. You can be in your own head for a little bit and check out and relax and take care of yourself. But it's really, you're really missing that piece that you get at the gym or if you go to a class. So have someone that you check in with, and it can be your neighbor, or it could be a family member who lives out of state or anywhere. And you guys decide, like, hey, this is going to be the day that we exercise. Again, it doesn't have to be together, but and when I'm done with my workout, I'm gonna text you or call you and say, done, did it. And then that way someone knows, hey, you're going to do this. Now it has to be a trusted friend and someone who, if you don't, message them or call them, who's going to check on you. So you should probably tell them that up front, like, hey, I'm needing some accountability. So shoot me a message if you don't hear from me by the end of the week, because I'm promising myself and you as my friend or neighbor that I'm going to do this workout 2 times this week. And these are my days. And then that way you have a little bit higher sense of accountability. Because if you're not meeting with a trainer, I mean, that's a great thing to do, or not going to a workout class or checking in at the gym, then no one knows if you worked out or not, right? Except for you and maybe your family. So you need someone else who's going to think about you and remind you what you promised yourself you'd do. So that's a big one. And your kids can be your accountability partner too. I can tell you right now, my kids are really good at that. They're like, Mommy, you said you were gonna. So that's okay. I know Kelly's son is really good about, working out with her. So find someone. A coach, a health coach is a great person too. If you already are, working with a health coach on our program, then take that person and say, hey, okay, I'm going to start incorporating exercise, not for weight loss, but for my strength and my overall health. I'm ready to move to that phase. Then let them know how many days you're going to work out or what days. And, it's okay to send them a message and say, hey, thanks for the accountability. Got that workout in, did my 4 minutes, or I did my 15 minutes, or whatever you decide on. Just make sure you talk to your coach about how much you should be exercising for the phase of weight loss that you're in. And then my very last thing that I urge you to do is to have some sort of tracking and reward system. And you ladies who are teachers on here, or have homeschooled kids, I know a couple of you, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't give rewards, even if it's to yourself as a grown-up, it's harder to stay on track. So what I suggest is you have a little calendar that you print out, or something that you can hang on the wall, or a little sheet where you check boxes. It can look like anything, where you write down maybe a check mark or put a date on it for every time you complete your home workout. And that way at the end of the week or at the end of the month, you can say, oh, wow, I got 6 workouts in, or I got 20 workouts in, depending on your goal, and decide how many workouts you have to get in to give yourself a reward. And it could be something tiny, like you just throw a little something extra special for yourself in the Target cart. It can be a pack of gum, or maybe you want to buy a new lamp. Maybe you're going to buy yourself some new workout shoes. That's a great reward. Or maybe you want to buy a new pair of jeans, whatever it is. It does not have to be real fancy. Or maybe you want to take yourself out for a nice massage. Think about something that can be a reward, because if you get something besides, we all want the gratification of knowing we've exercised and taken care of our bodies, but if you have something else that drives you and keeps you excited, then you're more inclined to keep moving and keep going, especially if it's the dark of night and you're trying to do this before work, or if you come home from work and you're tired from a long day and you're trying to do it then and find the motivation. That's another extraneous tip, but choose your workout time to be the time of day that you can be most consistent and that you have the most energy. Even if you don't have a lot of energy all day, choose the time that you have the most. I know some of y'all work out late, and I love that, but not everybody's a morning person. Not everybody's I used to do lunch, and now I have no desire to do lunchtime. So whatever the season of life is that you're in, that's when you should exercise for consistency. So those are my tips. And again, I'll put those in writing and share them in the event page. But just really encourage you to keep in mind, stay connected to somebody for accountability, and don't exercise for weight loss. Exercise because it's good for your body. It's a healthy habit. Those are kind of like the overarching things to remember, and keep that workout simple, and please reward yourself. I think that's all I have to share. Do you have questions or anything else you want to share from your experience? I'm curious. As I sip my water. Kelly, I know you've been, after your weight loss, you've transitioned into a pretty good workout routine. How's that going?
Yeah, well, I'm going to talk about this. So I was a workouter before, thought I was going to work my way to my health goals. Didn't happen. But since, being on this program, being at a healthy weight, maintaining healthy weight, I've continued to, of course, to work out. I will say intensity is probably lower than it was before, but my ability has grown, of course, like I can run faster, I can lift heavier weights, I can do all those things, but that's not what my story is about. My story is about the last 4 weeks, because I had a medical procedure, I've not been able to work out at all. So I've thought about it many times, how 3 years ago, that would have probably stressed me way far out, because I thought I had to exercise to maintain my weight and, all those things. And of course, throughout this recovery time, I have continued to do all the things that I normally do, minus the exercise, all the healthy habits, the water, eating well, making sure I get, enough sleep, all those things. And I've, of course, monitored my weight like I always would before. Of course, there's still that little twinge in there that's like, you're not exercising, you're not exercising, you're not exercising. But I have started walking. So I have been walking a couple miles, a couple times a week. So, I am able to do that. But what I have noticed is I have maintained my weight. I was actually down a couple pounds after, of course, after, having things done. I have not put those pounds back on, so they're still off. I have one of those scales that like tracks all the things, I don't know. I was just curious. I don't even know if it's really real, but I mean, whatever. It's cool to look at all the numbers, but it does measure muscle mass, which of course I have monitored. And my son and I like to hop on there to see who has more muscle mass. And it's usually me, but I'm older and bigger, but his little 12-year-old self still wants to be stronger than his mom, but my muscle mass, even with a month of not my regular exercise, has stayed the same. It has not dropped one bit at all. Now, like I said, not swearing by those numbers, but it just tells me that my body composition is not changing because I'm not exercising all the time. So that also tells me that nutrition and healthy habits that I practice daily are maintaining my health. So, which I knew, but I see it like all the time now. I see it. I know it. It's true. And it kind of gives me a little relief, I guess, for the next couple of weeks before I can go back to all the exercise, to know that I'm going to be okay. I'll be fine, and, fitness is not built in a day or a couple of months, nor is it lost in a couple of months. So it's consistency over time. So, and that means moving a little bit every day, and doing all the other things every day. So I just thought that was interesting, that I thought for sure, oh my goodness, all my numbers are going to go down the tubes, but it hasn't, so it's been a good revelation for me that it's really true.
That's awesome. Yeah. There's a lot of things you can do, when you're not able to exercise, and sometimes it's a surgery. I talked to a person today who's, has to work out at home and, be consistent because her husband's ill. And she can't go out a lot. So, there's all kinds of reasons, busy season at work, or you've got a, sick pet, or who knows what. A lot of reasons why, our exercise is interrupted. So if we have all those other healthy habits to fall back on, it's like, shoot, you can take those things anywhere, right? It's just, just drink your water and get you sleep and eat well. And that's simple, really, really simple stuff. So, and, you mentioned, doing with your son and doing the competition. I'm sort of a really good testimony, and I don't think about this probably enough, but since my mom's on here, it's what was on my mind, is that when I was a little girl, I just naturally wanted to exercise, and I might have been born with that. I don't know. Maybe she can tell me later, but I saw my mom exercise like all the time. So of course I wanted to do it with her, and when she took me to a class or was working out at the house, like I didn't feel like I was neglected. Like I was like, oh, okay, this is just what we do. Right. And so you're teaching, your child that. And I know, Brandy's on here. She's been great about teaching her kids healthy habits, but it's just like, you don't even think about it if it's the way you're raised, like, oh, well, it's fun and we do it as a family, and why wouldn't we? And it's just part of taking care of yourself. And so, she modeled that for me, and that, hey, mama's going to go do this class and, keep up. So
Yeah,
I
good
never
luck.
minded, and obviously it stuck because I never questioned whether or not I should exercise or if it was important.
Yeah, it's like that meme that says, don't marry into a family that does 5Ks on Thanksgiving. I want to post that on my page, like whenever my son is like older, because warning, this family does 5Ks on Thanksgiving.
It's great. That's awesome. Oh yeah. Well, hey, why not? Anything else that you think, or anybody else want to share? Share a tip, something that's worked?
Well, I'm glad to know that something stuck with you as I was raising you, girl. You never know till your kids grow up what's going to stick and what isn't. And you hope it will. I guess this was a good thing to stick. But anyway, yeah. And I've kind of in and out of the exercise and started the program with Heather as her guinea pig first client, and have maintained, and then over COVID managed to put some back on, so I'm back into it again. But yeah, and then I reached a milestone birthday last week. It was like, okay, you can keep doing this. I haven't been to the gym for like 2 years, just didn't want to go in there, so I pull out all the videotapes and the old VHS tapes and some DVDs. And have jumped back into it. And I'm the first few times, like you said, Kelly, like, oh, okay, I can do this. I think I used to be able to go through this real easily, but as I've gotten older, there's certain things I can't do as easily as I used to. The knees don't bend quite as much as they used to, and things like that. But as I've noticed the last month or so, as I've stuck with it, I thought, okay, it's getting a little easier, so maybe I'll get back into it again. But never like I did when I was even younger than Heather, but definitely good for someone my age. So that makes me feel good and keeps me motivated, I guess.
Yeah. That's great. That's a good example of how it doesn't matter the season of life, you still need to be moving, and it still needs to be a priority. So
yeah, I went as a trainer for a while, and I told him I was coming out of physical therapy for a back injury and a hamstring pull, and I told him, okay, my number one goal is, if I should be so fortunate to live to be in my 90s, I want to be walking on my own. So there's my goal to shoot for. I said, I don't need anything fancy. I'm not going to need major weightlifting competition. I just want to be able to be mobile. So when I hit 70 last week, I thought, whoa, this can't be me. But anyway, so yeah, if you'd asked me 40 years ago, would I be exercising at this age? I probably said, nah, never will. And my mother exercised some with a dear guy on TV called Jack LaLanne, the only person that I think was ever on TV, and there were no videotapes. There were no gyms for women that they went to and all that. So that's probably where I got some of that with me and then passed it on to Heather. So anyway, it's definitely been worth it. That's for sure. Still
Yeah.
have some of the aches and pains, but they go away a whole lot faster than than a lot of my friends do. So that's good.
Yeah. That's good stuff. That makes me happy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a different perspective. I can tell as I've gotten older, I need to do things in slightly different ways, but can still do them. So I just have to accept the fact that, okay, maybe I can't do backflips like my granddaughters can, or headstands like I used to be able to. And they go jumping through my house, and good old Kate and Kirsten is like, I used to be able to do that. But anyway, but what I am doing is very beneficial. So I highly recommend it.
That's great. Find your motivation.
Yeah. The
Everybody's got different
granddaughter
motivation. They're not the same.
keep up with grandma and the granddaughters.
Yep, absolutely. Love it. Anybody else want to share, or should we wrap up? Again? Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording here in just a second, and I'll pass this on to anyone who was invited to this event tonight through the Facebook invite. But if you want to send it to a friend, you can do that too, or you can tag a friend in the group. And if you have any questions, let me know. I would love to answer questions. Shoot me a message, or Kelly. We are here to help, and thanks for jumping on. Or I know most of you who are going to see this and hear this are going to be watching it on recording. So I'm happy that you made the time for yourself. So congrats for that. And thanks for popping in and giving yourself some self-care time tonight.